Testing, testing. Okay, cool. You can hear me. It's okay. We were meant to do this. Just very quickly, I have to set up the green screen, so the timer's gonna go over again. Just in case you're already watching, we're starting the timer now. All right, 10 seconds to spare. Let's see if I got this set up right. I'm a bit loud, aren't I? All right, let's start the show, shall we? Let's start. Welcome to Devlog 3 of Fun Factory. Okay, the alarm stopped every time that kind of pulls me off. The green screen's not completely hidden. Give me a second to hide that. Aha! Alright, cool. Welcome everyone to Devlog 3 of Fun Factory. This week I was able to work, especially today, on some of the UI features, getting the main menu along with the day one scene kind of set up, interacting things between that, and sorting things out with Steam VR and Unity VR as well with itself. Because gosh, this is just a weird set of tools that I'm in. I'm using Unity 2020, which is kind of most people are saying use 2019.4 for any production sort of things, especially with VR for using a Vive and such. But I experimented with exporting it over to 2020, and so far so good. Honestly, looking back, I probably would have just stayed in 2019.4, but now that we're here, there's no point really going back. Things are working and it's going good. So let's get into the desktop view, and I'll just quickly make myself appear again, like so. Aha! Oh, but there's no green screen. Okay, let me just let me get onto that in a hot second. Okay, yep. On the fly here. Bang. Probably, do we really need the shape? I don't even think we need the shape. Let's just do that, shall we? How's that? I'm just going to improve the keying a bit, like so. All right, cool. And here we are. Nearly dropped the microphone there. That's not good. Let me just show you what we've done here. I've started using, so there's a few ways to disable and re-enable objects in UI when it comes to Unity. There are the game objects themselves. So if you click on any object here, so this here, the entire thing, we can enable and disable that. And in other instances, people like to work with the canvas. Just in code, it helps a lot more. When you type it out, you're saying, okay, get this button, or rather this object, and disable it. So you might reference it as the canvas. So it gets this component here and disables that. But in this instance, because we have lots of components going into these UI features, because for it to work in VR, we actually need physical colliders. I didn't want any of those colliders to remain if we just disable the canvas. So I made sure just to go off the object, otherwise there could be issues. I've been working especially today on getting the layout to feel a bit more fluid, clear and concise, and set out in a consistent way. So we'll just go through in the editor. We don't really need to play it in VR, but I can show you. So this is what the main kiosk looks like. We might add some more features, but for now, this is functionally how it's going to look and feel. And then when you click play, it'll disable this and go into the level select. And here it'll have an image, like a screenshot of the level. So you better see, okay, this has one bin, and might have a few packages on the conveyor belt just to kind of show and see what the game looks like. And it kind of lets players know what they're going to be getting in with in that level. Obviously, here's day 7. And each day is unlocked after completing the previous day. So day 1 will be unlocked to begin with. Let's see if I can just disable all of these. Yep, so we'll have day 1. And then all these other days will be locked. So the image will have like a little lock icon on it. And when you press the button, it'll be grayed out. So people will know, hey, you can't access this day. You got to do day 1 first. This makes it the easiest for me to organize and program. And I think it was Paper Please. Sorry, I just get so excited. Let me just have a drink of ginger beer to settle back down again. I think it is Papers, Please that has this system of unlocking days, but you can also go back to previous days and better your score. So each day, the kind of incentive to return is the bonus earned. We have 2 here because one is the actual title of bonus earned text, and the other one will change through script to actually be the amount that person earned. So obviously, if you've never played the game before, it'll be set to $0, but once you play a level, then we'll set that maximum amount. And then that can carry through. So when you do that, it will take you to the budgeting scene, and then you can rebudget. So if you, for example, have low scores to begin with, but you're still managing through your own... let me try to explain that again. If you play through the game and you reach up to a certain number of days, and you realize you need more money, you can actually go back to these older previous days and change your bonus score. You can increase it. If you don't make the maximum amount, like if you finish a day and your bonus score is actually lower, we're not going to change that. It's going to be your highest score earned goes to the amount, and then that way people can keep trying. And so if you get stuck later in the game, you're not stuck with that level. You can go back to previous days and earn more money through that way. And then obviously, originally I actually had it as a scroll view, so you could scroll across, kind of like use your hand like you would on a touch screen to go across. But the slider wasn't working very well in VR, so I kind of got rid of that and followed through with the simple button pressing, since this right now is working for us. So I managed to get that working. It's now just putting in the functions here. I'll just show you the manager script. So for some reason, we can't make a list of the unlocked images, the sprites. So to change it from a locked image to an unlocked image, for some reason, I had to do this where I make lists of other things. So the day selection, I think it's 6 we're doing. We can put in, drag those objects, where with the sprite here, I had to do them all single-handedly, I guess. How would you write that? I had to write them out. I couldn't, write in a number to make a list. I had to write them out because for some reason you can't list sprites in Unity. It came up with an error saying it couldn't tell with the API. Anyway, not to worry. So this is all sorting out. I reckon by the end of tonight, we'll have a working menu system. And I also wrote on the whiteboard the way we're going to save data as well. So that's all good. I'm really glad we have those set up, because then once this is finished, pretty much is just doing each day, doing six days. And then that's kind of the hard bit of work that I'm waiting to get finished. I spat on my screen. I got too excited. Aside from that, I've actually worked, I don't know if I showed this last week or not. I actually can't remember. Worked on these couches here. The normals for some reason are really messed up, and the faces are really sharp, even though it's on a smooth, even though these faces have been set to smooth. So I'll probably put this back in Blender and see if I can fix it. Probably just add more faces and vertices and stuff to it to make it look a lot smoother. These weird shadows here on the top of the armrests don't appear in the actual model themselves or in Substance Painter, but they do appear when you bake the lighting in Unity. So I'm guessing that's just a face thing. Aside from that as well, we've actually rendered out a road outside. It looks really nice. I decided to go with a wet feel because, well, it looks good. Not much else I can really say there aside from the fact that it looks nice, and it brings a sense of realism to the scene. These gaps in the concrete here don't look too good, but we'll see what the response is, because you're looking out the window. I think if we can get these buildings to look realistic, then we can kind of get away with it. And then with that, I've been UV unwrapping some of the objects. So the kiosk here, I've started to unwrap slowly parts of the model, and you can see parts here which haven't been assigned properly yet. And I tell you what, this pole right here has been giving me such trouble. I have no idea what I did wrong. It's just a cube that I extruded out, and the faces and edges right here are all kind of messed up, and the UV maps, or the UV shells, I should say, sorry. Oh, lost the mic. The UV shells themselves, super messed up and a pain in the butt. So hopefully no one can really see that from a distance, and we can get away with doing some lazy work there. But we'll keep working slowly on this scene. Again, I just got to get around to texturing parts of this scene and working with the shadows here. We're still getting a few weird artifacts, which over time I'm sure we'll fix and get sorted out. The main day for day one, I think nothing's changed. So we'll leave that for now. But like I said earlier, today's goal kind of to get finished by the end of the day is for this UI. So selecting a level and changing the graphics, and there's also a tutorial scene that will be done at the very end. I'm hoping to have that as like a museum type of deal, and then with that we will actually, I didn't mention with the budget scene, I'm actually redesigning that. If we go through here into our scenes and go to budget, and we'll save this scene. So the original process was that you're on a kitchen table, and your laptop is out here, and it kind of says the balance and the tax and all the information you need, and then you have all your bills from the housing and medicine and all this stuff, and you grab coins and pick them up and place them on the paper, and then if you don't pay one of these requirements, so after like each day, if you don't pay something, these faces go from happy to sad. And I've changed that because with the world I'm building right now, especially since kind of doing the redesign, it doesn't fit as well. I really loved picking up the coins and placing them, and my friend who gave me feedback said that's one of the most enjoyable bits, because it just felt so good to place an object and have that instant reaction on the screen of oh, money's going, money's coming. But I'm changing it for a more realistic approach, I guess you would say. I'm going to be redesigning the scene to be a small, it's still going to have the same atmosphere, but fit a bit more into the world that I've already kind of designed in the main menu and in the game scene. We're going to redesign it to be a small little office space, where you had your computer screen, same information, and then on your left you have your incoming files, and on your right you have your outcoming, and you grab those bits of paper and kind of see, okay, whatever I put in the out is going to be paid for, and then that way you're still interacting with things, but it's I don't know, I just felt like the faces and the picking up the coins, like the coins don't have, like, if you're doing budgeting, why would you be using coins, placing them on things? I don't quite understand that. Like, it works as a mechanic, but in this game world, it doesn't really make much sense. So hopefully having these bills in and out folders and having that affect the screen will bring a bit more sense into what you're doing in the level, and also have it more than just a black scene. Like, you'll have bookshelves and things like that, and then when you finish the day, you might, I don't know yet, maybe you turn off the computer, or you go up to the door and open the door, and that'll take you to the next day. So that's going to be worked on later this week, maybe, if I have time. If it's the front of mind, I'll probably do that. Otherwise, that will be kind of pushed to the side until we have the more important things finished first. However, with this being a transitional scene, I probably will work on it simultaneously along with day 2. And with that, with the days, I'm now working on the replacement robots that we are going to have. So, during day 1, the AI actually talks about working on a replacement, and then throughout each day, you'll get story beats through narration, well, not narration, through this overseer, this boss, to their smart comments kind of saying how, haha, we're building a replacement. Each day, this area of the level is going to change. So day 1, obviously there's nothing, but day 2, we might have a hole in the wall and wires coming out. Day 3, there might be a platform and more wires and stuff. And eventually, over time, an AI will be built, and I'm hoping in the last few days you'll have this robot kind of taking over your job, someone who's, taking off packages and kind of ruining things for you. So along with, of course, in day 2, we'll move this bin to the left, and then you also have the express bin, which will be used for these express packages where you get bonuses. Obviously day 1 won't have bonuses either, so I have to take a note of that as well. And yeah, aside from that, again, it's just prioritizing what needs to get done functionally for the game to slowly be coming together. And obviously at times where I'm feeling a little discouraged or just tired of thinking logically and programming, I usually set apart a portion of a scene or a game or a level to model and texture out. So obviously there's always going to be blank things here, out and around, but over time, hopefully, it'll all come together. If you have any questions, please at me at Twitter, at Rollerstar101, I think it is, I'll double check. Leave a comment down below if you're watching the VOD on YouTube. And if you have any questions or you want to get in contact with me, my DMs are open. I'm interested in feedback. If you are keen to test this game in the not too distant future, please let me know, and I'll try and get a build to you. And I just want to let you all know that I'm really working hard to try and get this project finished. It'll be really easy for me to shelf this and put it along with all the other unfinished projects I have, but this is something I'm really trying each week to just chip away at, and I hope by the end of this year or early next year, I can release it and get feedback, do quick hot fixes for those who are interested in this game, and kind of have it something I can present to people and say, hey, I made this is my creation. And of course, start working on some other exciting projects that I have planned. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch me live, head over to Twitch at Nathan_Rona. And yeah, I think that's everything. So, until next week, when we watch Devlog 4. Oh, that was not it. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Gosh, today is not the day. Oh, and my camera. Wow, really? Come on. There we go. Finally, we did it. Yeah, again, thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that over time we can build a community and I can make some exciting content for everyone. But until next week, until devlog number 4, I will catch you all later.